Hello, everybody. I'm happy to see you guys here. So, today you'll notice it's my movie review. Usually, I do it at the end of the day, but I will have something to do during the day. So, that's why I figured I'd rather do it in the morning. I might change the time on a permanent level, but for now, I figured at least get this one done at, was supposed to be at 9, but I had a few things to finish off. But yeah, 9 is when I'll most likely try to move in permanence my movie review on Saturdays. So I apologize for the tardiness, but we're here now. So today we're going to do a movie review of the movie um, Cube, okay, which is a Canadian independent movie. It does have a sequel, but we're not going to talk about the sequel. I I did not like the sequel at all. The original really was really great and fantastic, and like a lot of movies, they of course completely excuse me completely butchered the movie with the sequel. So we'll get into it without any further delay. So the movie Cube was, like I said, a Canadian movie. It came out. Let me check the exact date. I want to say 1995, but I feel like might have come out earlier than that. One second, guys. I'm trying to find the date as to when it came out. All right, let me go check our trusted. Hello, hello, Lashes Journey, and of course, good morning, Chidima Chica. How are you? And of course, good morning, Trash Can Waves. Let me go to our favorite Wikipedia to find out some more information about Cube. Oh, it came out in 1997 is when it came out. And like I said, it's a Canadian movie. No, I'm not going to be dealing with Matrix 4 again. That's another movie. I don't see it. I don't know it. It doesn't exist in my mind. Sorry. uh, but basically, you know, there are certain movies where you kind of have to pretend like it doesn't exist. And let me actually get some background music. Yeah, Cube was definitely a very good movie. Thank you, Uncle Stu. Thank you very much. I'll definitely check it out, and we will talk about the other videos that you want me to do for you. But thank you, sir. And yes, definitely Trash Can Waves. Cube was definitely a very good movie. I definitely enjoyed it. So as I was saying, it came out in 1997. It was a product of the Canadian Film Center. Okay. So it really tried to, of course, have as much Canadian involved in it as possible. So Canadian actors filmed on a Canadian set with a Canadian crew, etc., etc. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Canada has a series of laws where anything entertainment, so radio, film, art, etc., has to produce so many. Um, has to focus basically mostly on, like, there's a percentage that they have to have. I forgot what that number is, but they have to have a certain percentage of it that's focused on Canada, right? So involving Canadian actors, Canadian music, etc., right? So it really tries to promote local artists and really try to make sure that it's Canada first. And then after that, if we really need to have somebody from the U.S. because that's the only person that knows how to set up a rig, or there's nowhere in Canada to get a particular product or service or whatever, then we'll go outside of Canada. But Canada really wants to make sure that the Canadian artists really get the support that they need, because as we know, like, artists in general, whether they're Canadian or American, tend to be the group that struggles the most financially. So Canada really tries to make sure that Canadian artists are getting their fair shot at success. Now, it's not to say that they're guaranteed to make millions, but they try to, as much as possible, give them a good start. And then after that, whatever happens, happens. All right. So there was also for Cube, like I said, a sequel, and there was also a Japanese remake that came out in 2021. Okay. So I'll get into, as usual, my basic summary of the movie and then give you guys my thoughts about it. All right. Oh, we have a nice little. All right. All right. Thank you for dealing with the bot trash can waves. And alrighty. So we're going to start with the basic summary. So you're obviously following several individuals. So you have 5 people: Quentin, Worth, Holloway, Levin, and Reens, that find themselves stuck in a queue. I know, surprise, surprise. It's one of those movies where they didn't play around with the title. It's definitely what it is what it is, and they're not gonna, spend their time, worrying about let's go into like deep meaning and all that, and really try to figure out, what's the story behind the, no. Um, so basically, in this movie, these characters wake up in the middle of a cube-shaped room. Of course, not knowing where they are, not knowing how they got there. They do have a memory loss, right? It is temporary. You see them throughout the movie where they slowly but surely regain some of their memories. But at first, they have no idea where they are. They don't even know their own names, etc. Right? So, of course, the first thing that they have to figure out is who are we and how did we get here? All right. So slowly but surely, they're given a certain amount of clues. Let me see. 1 second, guys. Here. Okay, let's get that out of the way here. 1 second. Thank you, guys. All right. So basically, as we figure out, we have 11, like I said, who's a young woman who has a very good math skills. Okay. She's kind of the first one that discovers that, oh, wait, there's these numbers by the edges of the cube. Maybe they mean something. And she uses her math skills to figure out that they're all sequences of pi, etc., to figure out that there's so many rooms. So she figures out that there are a total of 17,576 rooms, and that there might be a particular room that will lead them out of the way. So she's basically the one who becomes responsible to get everybody out of where they are. Holloway, on the other hand, is a doctor at a free clinic and really tries to help out another individual. Levin discovers it's prime numbers, not pi. Okay, prime numbers. That it will help them hopefully get them out. So as they're going through room by room, we discover more about the other individuals. Like Quentin is a police officer who's had a very bad divorce. And even though at first you look at him as the hero, as the person that kind of is there to protect people and help them out, he slowly but surely kind of, I don't know how to say this, but he really gets more and more unhinged, I guess is the best way. And you realize that, maybe we shouldn't, maybe things aren't as simple as we would like them to believe. Renee, right, on the other hand, is somebody that they discover on the way to other rooms. And, he gives them a couple little tricks to survive, like sucking on one of their buttons to keep the saliva going. Because in the rooms, they have no food, no water, nowhere to go to the bathroom. So they not only have to figure out ways to get out of the rooms, but they have to figure out, okay, how do we deal with the day-to-day things that normally When you're hungry, you eat food. When you need to go to the bathroom, you go to the bathroom, right? And Worth is an individual that overall has limited mental abilities, but the few things that he is, sorry, it's Kazan, sorry. Kazan has the one is the one with the mental issues. Essentially, you realize that overall he does have an intellectual disabilities, but that you figure out that he's very quick at calculated numbers. So that does help with them getting out of the rooms. So one of the things is now what's important about calculating the rooms is that you realize that each cube is different colors, right? So they're all perfect cubes. The colors of each cube does come into play because red cubes means that there's some kind of a trap. Okay, so not only are you trying to calculate the right cube that will get you out of the larger cube, but you have to mathematically calculate your way and then mathematically calculate that these rooms will not hurt you, right? So each, like I said, red room is a dangerous room. So they have to go through all these different traps to sort of survive and to get out of there as quickly as possible. Because as you all know, when it comes to surviving, without food and without water, the human body can only go for so long. And of course, you're in a high stress situation. So that does not help out anybody. Worth, on the other hand, is one of these individuals that you realize as he's going through the movie that he actually helped indirectly to build the cube. Now, at first, he doesn't tell people that he remembers this, but as the movie goes along, people start asking questions, start to probe each other, and that's when it comes out. And of course, everybody's mad, and blames him. How could you do this? But he says, "Look, I'm trapped in here just like the rest of you." And sometimes the quote unquote government just create things for the sake of creating things, and because it's created, you have to just put people in it and see how it goes. Right? Why waste your time building something and it doesn't work? Oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay. And that's kind of the point, Trash Can wins. It's like for me, it's like that's why I don't like the other movies. They kind of just retconned the storyline and turned it into something completely different, right? For me, I like the fact that you had a whole bunch of different personalities, different abilities, and everybody had to work together to try to get themselves out of this cube that nobody knows why they were in it. Nobody knows for sure why they were picked and why not, somebody else. I kind of felt that was what made that horror movie so horrific, right? Was that there are a whole bunch of questions that everybody has, and you did not know what the answers were, right? So, as of course they go through each cube, of course, unfortunately, certain people pass away. Ren's gets canceled by one of the traps in the rooms. The good doctor, they do finally get to the edge because they do want to see just how big. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. They want to find out just how big the cubes are, and unfortunately, the doctor slips. The detective catches her, but because throughout the movie they're growing animosity towards each other, he lets go of her hands and she falls to her cancellation, unfortunately. But of course, the detective pretends that, oh, I tried my best, I did everything, and everybody starts to really be suspicious of him. And of course, at one point, uh, the mathematician, Levin, realizes that the numbers she was using to calculate the prime numbers were actually Cartesian map coordinates that would tell them where to go and what to do. So she figures we have to find the room that says 00. So basically, she at the very beginning had said, no, let's stay in the original room that we're in. That's when Quentin forces himself and says, no, we're all leaving, we're all moving. And, she realizes all this time, all this effort went into nothing, when if they had just stayed in that room, they would have been fine. And of course, as they go through the movie, they're go through all these traps. People are passing away, right? Three of them, sorry, four of them end up at the original room that they were in, including the individual Kazan, who is the mentally disabled, sorry, the intellectually disabled individual. Um, Hollyway, who no, sorry, Worth and Levin also, so get to the original room, but and Quentin, but the only person to actually physically survive is because Quentin at this point is attacking them. The only person to survive and make it out of the room is Kazan. Now, I'm of course purposely leaving out some of what was happening because I don't want to spoil the movie too much for you guys. Yeah, all they had to do was wait. All they had to do, and that was what I found was the genius of the movie. You have all this, all this drama, all this stuff that easily could have avoided if they had listened to Levin and just sat and waited out. Now, of course, you wouldn't have had that whole discovery that they're basically in a, one of 17,000 cubes, and that there's no point to this big machine and so forth, right? Um, and there might not be any point to any of them being there, etc., right? So it's a whole big la-di-da to do with nothing, right? So that's why for me I really love this movie, just because you see that sometimes the best thing you can do in a horror movie is stay together and stay where you are. Don't go exploring. Don't find the, oh, what's that noise? Where is it? What's coming? Oh, there's, a dark thing. Let's go into the dark. No, just stay where you are. You don't need to know everything right here, right now, right? And one of the things that you say, because Levin was deciding things sort of under pressure, although it was helping. Once she realizes that the numbers she was calculating as prime numbers were actually a Cartesian map, it dawned on her that a lot of what they had been through could have been a lot worse, or could have been avoided if she had figured that out from the get-go, right? Yeah, we should split up like the Scooby Doo, right? Trash cats. We should split up. Come on, and that's kind of what I love about a good horror movie, right? It's uh, you kind of feel that a lot of the decisions you end up regretting almost instantly or later on in the movie. So she kind of regrets that she was so confident that all of her decisions were right because, oh, well, it's prime numbers. And then she realizes, oh, wait, no, these were actually Cartesian map numbers and coordinates and not prime numbers. Uh-oh. And they narrowly, missed traps or rooms that could have been dangerous. Um, uh, you know, could have caused all of them to pass away or whatever the case um, might be. Cover more ground. No, no, no. Yeah, cover more ground. Exactly. Split up, cover more ground for sure. Let's go all in all different directions, right? So, of course, and that's part of why I love this movie is that you see, like I said, all the bad decisions that because you have that person. Oh, I'm the alpha male. We have to do what I say, and let's go and do this and do that. It's like no, no. Let's take a moment to sit down, think about it, try to analyze our situation. What supplies do we have? Let's try to remember our names. Let's see if that's it. Even though they were doing that as they were going along, obviously, if you're sitting down, you're thinking about it, it's a lot easier to, have a plan, have your, get your memory back if you're not under stress, right? Part of what I think makes this, technically it is a sci-fi movie, but what makes it a good horror movie as well is the futility of the whole thing, right? They don't know why they're there. Nobody came, well, you're here because you did this horrible thing. Now, obviously, some of them, like Quentin, it's found out that the reason why his wife divorced him was because, well, he didn't exactly treat her very well, you know, uh, and you can kind of see uh, alpha males. Yeah, exactly. In this case, this one alpha male, yeah, you don't want to be following this one. This is definitely not, one of them that I can't. I hope that he's not representative of all the alpha males, but this one, definitely not the one that you want to be following, especially if you're a woman, because he does slap the doctors later on, because she's the kind of woman that, look, I'm not putting up with your BS. I'm not putting up with your bad decisions. You're not a great leader, so I'm not following you, you know. And she does poke and prod him as well. So, I mean, that's a different discussion for a different video. Anyways, so yeah, so you see with this movie, it's a good, that's a good blend of some of the things that could happen, and the bad decisions that are made on along the way. What else I liked about it was the visual effects, because even though this movie was made in 1997, the visual effects were pretty decent. They didn't go into like major CGI and everything is done by computers. Most of what they had was basically made in person. It was actual props, actual sets. Um, excuse me. So you really had a sense that they were actually in this world, right? And I do like the fact that there was very little world building in the first one, unlike Trash Can said, was the rest of the movies where they try to explain everything and it has to make sense. No, what I loved about this movie was the fact that a lot of this was not explained, was not a mystery, was not something that you can understand. And that's what, for me, makes a horror truly horrific. Sometimes our lives make no sense, have no purpose. There's no ultimate, like, this is the way to penalize bad people for doing the bad things. Sometimes good people go through bad things just because, you know. So yeah, for me, it's that's my basic movie review for this movie. I really liked it. I don't know if Lash's Journey, if you still, if you watched it or not. I know Trash Can said that he watched it, so maybe take a time to rewatch it again. Uncle Stu, I don't know if you're still here, but hopefully you'll take a minute to watch it as well, Uncle Stu. And Chike James, I hope you watched the movie as well. But pretty much this is my movie review for Cube. I definitely like it. I have the DVD. I know I'm old school, but yes, I have the actual DVD to the movie. Um, and I do like the fact that it has the director's commentary and things like that. I don't know. I always like that feature about DVDs where they have the extra stuff going on to it. um and like I said, for me, I really did like the fact that it was a good blend between sci-fi and horror, that you really saw different things, and you saw how it really could, how the different personalities interact, and that somehow like it all the VHS. Oh my god, Trash Cat. You way old school. Yeah, no, I started buying VHS and then DVDs came out, so I'm like, yeah, I need to get the VHS instead, the DVDs instead. But yeah, and that's kind of why, like I said, Trash Cat, I really don't, I don't consider the other movies, because it started getting into worlds that's like, yeah, no, this is not Cube, this is not the Cube I enjoyed and really wanted to get into. The original Cube is great as a standalone movie. You don't need to watch the sequels or the other movies. And like I said, there is a Japanese reboot. I haven't had a chance to see it. To see what they do with the movie. Maybe they start from scratch and really try to make a Japanese version, essentially, of Cube, where it's the same thing but just Japanese actors and in Japanese, etc. I'll have Excuse me, I'll have to try to find it and see for myself. But yeah, I overall I really like the movie, and I like the fact that it stands alone. It doesn't, in my mind, it doesn't need explanation. It doesn't need to, like Trash Can said, go into other worlds and dimensions and explain the intellectual disability of Kazan and all of that. The end, I don't know. It's okay. I'd rather not find out how he quote unquote got that way. For me, it's it's some things don't need to be explained. Some things are better as they are, and to me, Cube is one of those movies that are better as it is. It doesn't, excuse me, doesn't need to be touched, doesn't need to be explained, doesn't need anything else. No frills, no thrills. It's best as it is, in my opinion. But you guys are more than welcome to watch the other sequels, or watch the 2021 um, remake of, yeah, yes, DVD lashes. I know some of us are, we're not all young spring chickens like you that only know streaming. I know some of us knows, like Trash Can and I. We know about VHS and DVDs. I know. But yeah, no, it's I like the movie, and I liked it as it is. Um, yeah, and it definitely, like you said, it's only a good movie for its time, but it is one of those movies that even nowadays, if you were to watch it, you would still enjoy the movie, right? And that's why I like it, is that because it doesn't go into pop culture and referring to Justin Timberlake, or you know what I mean. It really just, the story is independent of time, of a place, of whatever the case might be. So it's a kind of movie that, what, 20 years later, 30 years later, you can rewatch it now and it still makes sense, and it's still something you can enjoy, at least in my opinion, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed that movie review for the movie Cube. I'm going to leave it on that note. So if you guys are watching this on the replay, let me know if you've watched the movie, and if you have, what your thoughts are. Did you watch the sequel? Did you watch the 2021 Japanese remake? Let me all know about all that. And if you haven't seen the movie and you do watch it afterwards, let me know your thoughts. Leave it in comment, like Trash Can. Hit the like button. It's free. And if you're a black woman like Lashes and I, it creates magic. So try it out. See what magic you can create for yourself with the like button. But anyways, guys, have a great day. I'm gonna, of course, go back to Lashes's Try It live stream, as well as support other people as well. Until I do have, like I said, a few things to do, like spending a couple hours with my mom. So, guys, if you're not on the streams, do like me. Please spend some time with your family. If you can't spend time with your family, at least spend some time with your loved ones, with your friends, whatever the case might be. So, thank you guys for being here. Uh, yeah, quite live going down at Lashes. So, we're going to go back there, guys. Everybody, hopefully, you guys will join us there. If not there, like I said, there's plenty of videos that are come out from our community. I know Trash Can posted a few videos as well. So, guys, please hit the like button, and we're going to head out. So, have a great day, guys. Give your loved ones a big hug and kiss for me. And I hope you guys have had a great day. Thank you. Bye.